Teaching in Two Languages, Chapter 9, Equity and Advocacy, by Sharon Alderman Reyes and Tatiana Klein. My name is Alma Martin. Throughout this chapter, we will answer the essential question, how does being a bilingual teacher make me different? Being a bilingual teacher includes teaching multiple contexts, mainstream to multilingual classroom, multidisciplinary fields, promote educational equity, and multifaceted. Political. It is very political within the school districts, administrators, and teachers, and the community to understand just how important it is to serve English learners. Ensuring that all students receive the best possible education available, it is a partnership and collaboration of administrators, the community, and teachers, looking at the curriculum and deciding how effective bilingual education will be for the English learner or the language learner. Bilingual education. There are different models. There are also many benefits to bilingualism. Research the time for academic purpose, research for academic outcomes, and then of course the different program functions. By the different models, we have the dual language. We also have the early exit. We also have there could be other different ones as well, but those are the two that are most talked about in the book. The benefits of being the bilingual, I believe the teacher has to know the benefits, as well as ensure that the students are aware of the benefits of being bilingual. Research. Lots of research goes into this. As a bilingual teacher, you're always researching what are the best resources out there for your students so that they can attain the skills needed in order to succeed. And of course, the outcomes. With research, what was used, what was the outcome of that research that you are now looking into? Did it help students? Did it make a difference? And of course, the functions of the different programs that are available out there. Stressing the importance of native language is crucial in students learning the English language. For, of course, here in the U.S., here in the state of Texas, there we do have various ones. However, in the article that I read, California is the one that they did bring up. That was the state that was talked about there. And Spanish is 80% of the language that bilingual education is servicing. And here, of course, we have with teaching to the tests. Here the employer says, I see you did well in school, but what real world skills do you have? And of course, the previous student, now is an adult, says, tests? I can take tests. This is one thing that bilingual teachers do face when the stresses of teaching to the test. Is not an effective approach for English learners because it devotes time to the strategies and the test type questions that the test will contain. If bilingual teachers taught what is required according to the state standards, then the child should be able to master the skills, and then surely he can pass the high-stakes state assessment. Bilingual and all teachers need to find meaningful and relevant ways to teach the content rather than teaching to the test. Here, another challenge for bilingual teachers, of course, is they must teach the whole child so that the child gets exposure to all the areas, the core contents, the arts, the musics, the enrichment activities, so that it's a well-rounded student. Parents can also be the best supporter for their child by having those everyday conversations in their native languages. There are numerous advantages to speaking native language at home with the extended family members as well. The child learns more vocabulary. The child has an easier way and grasp of his native language, which will in turn make it easier for him to make that transition because he has a fully well balance of the native language, of his native language. Bilingual educators have a strong connection with families of the language learners. They work hand in hand to support the development of the native language as well as the English language in their child. Myths about bilingual education. People tend to say it's not working, it's a waste of time and money, we don't need it anymore, and again, those are complete myths. Advocating for bilingual education in the school district and the community level, there are 5 stages. We have the inquiry, the first stage. Here we have advocating for bilingual education with the school, the district, and the community level. There are 5 stages. First one being inquiry, and that is recognizing a problem that is negatively affecting these L's and the LEPs at the local, state, or national level. Taking part in informal conversations about the problematic issues that are facing our language learners. Step 2 is consciousness, gathering information related to the recognized problem that is negatively affecting L's and ELPs at the local, state, and national level. Forming common cause coalitions, joining professional groups, participating in discussions, having those conversations. Stage 3 is critique, addressing and recognizing the problem that is negatively affecting our L's at the local, state, or national level. Delivering a conference research paper, discussing issues with like-minded people, supporting and inspiring research, arguing one's perspective with the opposing party. Stage 4 is, of course, the vision, constructing a plan to recognize the problem that is negatively affecting our L's, contacting the decision makers, bypassing or pushing past the gatekeepers, collaborating with others regarding the details of the proposed plan for action or for change. And of course, stage 5 is taking action, communicating with these decision makers on a specific plan designed to address the recognized problem that is negatively affecting our language learners. Informing the public about the problem and what is needed to improve the current situation. Keeping issue relevant information in the forefront of others' minds as well. Starting with 3 instructional techniques and activities. The first one would be a student interview. The teacher will ask student questions about being bilingual and how it is helpful for them. Students can create brochures and describe various advantages to being bilingual. This will create in turn researchers and advocates for multilingualism. Again, an interview, just asking the students and having them open-ended questions. Another strategy or technique or activity would be teach the teacher. The teacher will develop a questionnaire for parents to talk about the child and give the teacher important information on the child. That would be helpful as the teacher builds a relationship with the child in class. And number 3, the important activity or another event would be labeling that important activity that happened outside of school. The teacher will ask about an event or activity outside of school, and the student will present information in their native language because they feel more comfortable presenting in their native language. And it can be in words, it can be in pictures, or a mixture of the two. In the article I read, Keeping an Eye on Equity in Bilingual Education, it discusses the state of California's bilingual proposition that voters approved regarding bilingual education. The Sobrato Early Academic Language, which is of course SEAL, was piloted to school districts providing professional development to teachers and designed for English language learners. ELs in California have been subjected to shifting political climate since 1974. Also, in the same article, bilingual education has been caught in the crossfire of immigration debates and anti-immigrant sentiments in California. For almost 20 years, there has been a dramatic impact on bilingual programs for ELs. Proposition 58 effectively repealed Proposition 227, and bilingual programs are flourishing across California again. Spanish remains the most common partner language given the demographics of the U.S. Again, SEAL since 2008 works with preschools and elementary schools to ensure that DLLs and ELs needs are prioritized in the schooling system. Also ensuring effective practices on preventing long-term English learners. These promising results lead to replicating the SEAL model led to replicating the SEAL model in 12 districts and 67 schools across California. How does being a bilingual teacher make me different? Besides teaching in 2 languages, a bilingual teacher also goes beyond teaching and into advocacy so that students can build on their linguistic, cultural background knowledge. Often the bilingual students do not get everything that regular language English students get because the resources differ in comparison, and the resources are also very limited. As a bilingual teacher, advocating for students to get the equity they deserve and are in dire need of attaining. In conclusion, being a bilingual teacher is different because the many challenges and inequalities that teachers, students, and families face is endless. As bilingual teachers, we are taking on a fight for the right to ensure that our students are given every possible opportunity to learn and succeed in whatever comes their way. We are their voice, eyes, ears, and biggest supporter to help them learn.